Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, Tucson, Arizona's #1 online radio podcast about all things medical cannabis. Your host, Belle
and Cannabis Kid. Our show features news, interviews, and all the latest information about anything and everything medical cannabis related in Tucson, Arizona, and the world at large.
We'd love to hear from you. Please give us a call live at 646-915-8421. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on all social media, or email thctucson@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Tumbleweeds Health Center and Studio C, along with our many sponsors, for hosting our show every week. With the lowest price certifications in town, you'll find hemp products, accessories, and all things related to medical cannabis education.
Visit Tumbleweeds Health Center at 4826 East Broadway Boulevard or online at tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. And remember,
Be smart,
be safe,
and educate.
All right, welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. Woo! I cannot even believe it. It is February 18th. Holy cow. Happy day after, pal. Whoop, whoop. That's for you. My mom used to say happy day before, happy day after. It's all about happy. Just about being happy. How's everybody doing out there? I can't believe we're halfway through February already. Woo! And I know you all want to know. Here it is. Well, where is that? Oh, it's right there. How many days until Christmas? 310 days until Christmas. 311 until it's over. All right. No, not yet. Anybody? Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. How y'all doing out there? Whoop, whoop. Well, I got to tell you, I was looking up, what are these things called? Ocarinas. If you don't know what it is, look it up. And there's even a duck-shaped one. Oh my God, that's hysterical. But I like this one with the lava in it. That's cool. I have been hanging at the Renaissance Fair. So glad I opened my mind back up to that, because 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when I went to it, it wasn't, I'm just going to say it. It wasn't that great. And it was in their infancy stages. I know that, but it was enough to veer me away from that for 20 years. And, one of my best friends is in town from Oregon. So I had to go. She wanted to go. I secretly wanted to go again. And boy, did they do it up right. Yeah. Totally. Yes, you can hear harps playing. It is excuse me. They really did up the village. They've got the brick and mortar standing buildings that aren't coming down, and they're fantastic. It's just like a 16th century. It's just like being in the 1500s, guys. I know it. 1500. Do y'all even think about what life was like 500 years ago? Probably not, but you should. It's how you got here now. Lord. Oh, with all your little cheater ways. They are cheater ways, man. You guys cheat. Wake up, you're like, what's for breakfast? Oh, DoorDash. Jeez. I know it. Or whatever. Whatever you're doing out there. You're not getting up and going out and collecting eggs and whacking a chicken and all the hardships of life. So if you want to look up what an ocarina is, I still had a very hard time, even if I went to YouTube, ocarina flute music, still had a hard time finding something that I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this. Let's see. I'm going to try and put it on a different browser because, wait, what happened to Safari? What happened to my browser? Let's see if this is it. There we go. I don't know what happened, but it got weird. So let's see. Oh, that's Google. Okay. No, not that one. I didn't want to hear that one. Let's try this one. Song of Time on Ocarina. I don't know. Let's see if you can hear it because this is what this is, and this reminds me of the Renaissance Fair. Let's see if it works. Oh no, not Planet Fitness. I can't even stop it. Okay, you're just gonna have to listen to a Planet Fitness ad for a second. All right, here it is. Here's the song. Well, that's kind of depressing. I wanted one of those like, very nice how he's playing, but yeah, we wanted a happy ocarina song.
Up to 1 in 4 men.
And no, not golf. You guys, now you have to hear it. Let's see if I can find one now. Let's see, because it's just the song. No, not Happy Birthday. Oh my gosh. This is crazy when you type in. I don't know. Sorry, you guys are just stuck with me right now. We're going to get to weed. No, there's also. I don't want that one. All right, I'll find it on the break. Oh, Celtic Ocarina? Let's see. Maybe this is it. Don't give me an ad. Here we go. Yeah, kind of. All right, let's see this guy. This guy. He's at the ocean even. All right, he's getting ready. Oh, it's a clay flute. Usually has 5 holes. This one has got 6. Now they got all fancy. Oh, and he's using some effects. Yeah. Well, sorry. You are listening to Weedsday Wednesday. I know it. I can't help myself. Renaissance Fair is awesome. Get there. I will tell you how long it goes. Renaissance Fair. It goes through March. Renaissance Festival, tickets and info, $36 for adults. Yeah, there's a chick jouster. Yeah, let's give it up for that girl. Woo! She takes the boys down. It goes through March 29th. That's what I thought. And there's really great shows. And if you haven't seen the Nuns, you've got to go see the Nuns because that's the first show. I'm so excited. It's the first show I go to are the Nuns. And I literally got to go say hello again and say, hey, I've been watching you gals for 30 years. And they were super excited. And we took photos and had fun. And wow, what does that sound, little bear? Is that an aeroplane? There's something outside shaking up the world. Tucson has a lot of that, like, what do they call that? All sorts of bursting anyway. No, this is not a microburst, that's for sure. Woohoo! All right, so there you go. There's my plug for the Renaissance Fair. God save the Queen! Huzzah! All right, let's talk about marijuana. Whoop, whoop. First of all, let's give a super shout out to Tumbleweeds Health Center in the Goodleaf at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. Yep, come on down. Get certified. Come get some beautiful hemp and CBD products. We've got some really, really great things. We've got some mushrooms down there. Everybody's all about the mushrooms. Yeah. Whoa! My kitty just like jumped up from his hind legs when I did that. That's funny. What's going on, Sky? He is as big as a Montana Sky, that one. Whew. I need tips on weight loss for that guy. I know, don't feed him as much, right? But there are 9, so they free feed. Whoo. No joke. All right. Yeah, get on over. If you want to get certified, come on down to Tumbleweeds Health Center, now located inside the Good Leaf, 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. Everybody loves it in there. I can't tell you how many of our, this is odd. This is so weird. Most of our patients must just be on the east side because everybody says it's closer. Like I have not heard, let's see, have I heard of one person maybe saying it was a little further? But seriously, everybody's like, yeah, it's closer. I'm like, wow, you guys all live over here. I guess that's fantastic. It just shows people just go where they're closer to, but they love us. We have a lot of wonderful repeat offenders. Just kidding. Our renewals are awesome. We love our patients. So come on down, get certified. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have doctors available. We do the processing, you meet with our doctor, and you don't even have to come into the office. You can get certified via telemedicine now. The state accepts that. And all you have to do is go to tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. I'll go there with you right now. Click on the telemedicine section, and there's a button that says fill out form here. Click it. Done. And you just fill out this itty bitty form. Doesn't ask for much. And then if you want to, you can schedule your appointment online, but we can also, we will also give you a call. So if you go to the certification section and you want to know what you can get your card for, there is more on this list. I should just add all these things and say you can get your card for these if any of those, the treatment for those is causing this. You know what I'm saying? Because chronic pain, I mean, let's just be real. It covers so many things. Chronic pain covers. All right. So here's a list of what you can get your card for. And even if you don't hear your ailment on your list, don't worry. You can most likely get your card for it. And you can be any age. If you're under 18, then you have to have an adult with you, or guardian, proven guardian. And we can certify you. We've certified babies. It's, very sad. Little bear. We've certified babies and kids all the way up. But everybody, how old is our oldest patient? Like 95? Geesh, I don't even remember. I'm going to have to ask Silver Sister, how old is our oldest patient? If you're listening, how old is our oldest patient? Okay. Here you go. Here's the list of everything you can get your card for and then some. PTSD, you have to have your own records, though. The state of Arizona says our doctors can't diagnose that. But if you've got anything on this list that's other than, chronic pain, because you can even kind of diagnose your own chronic pain without seeing a doctor and let our doctor do the same, help you diagnose that, or they will diagnose it and you can use that because sometimes you just have back pain. Maybe you've been in car accidents or you've got scoliosis or migraines or fibromyalgia and you don't like to go to the doctor, Silver Sister. I'm with you. Never liked to go before, but now I have to go all the time. It's just what you got to do. So things like cancer, glaucoma, AIDS, you're going to have seen a doctor for things like that. HIV, Hep C, ALS, Crohn's disease, agitation of Alzheimer's, dementia, cachexia, wasting syndrome, severe and persistent muscle spasms, including multiple sclerosis, things like Parkinson's, even Tourette's, seizures, including epilepsy. You're going to have seen doctors for all those things. Severe nausea, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Chronic pain, like I said, that covers fibromyalgia, migraines, headaches, IBS, menstrual cramps, leg cramps, whatever kind of cramps. It just has to be more than 2 months long. That's what the state considers chronic. And AIDS, glaucoma, cancer. Yeah. So if you didn't hear your condition, don't worry, because if you're getting treated for any of these things and it's causing, I mean, there's medication, unfortunately and very sadly, that causes cancer, all sorts of things. So you can get your card even if your condition isn't on the list.
From one of these medical conditions and have been diagnosed by an Arizona licensed physician, medical cannabis may help relieve your symptoms. Tumbleweeds Health Center is Arizona's premier cannabis certification, health, and education center. Our primary focus is to help the patients of Arizona obtain their medical marijuana card and educate everyone about medical cannabis. With current medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana.
From a happy, healthy life, get on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to fit your health lifestyle.
I would definitely say that CBD has changed my life. I mean, I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore.
Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
Yeah. Give us a call, 520-838-4430. You can come on down, 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. We are right next to Bookman and Beyond Bread. So go get some lunch. Go do a little book shopping. Not only do they have books, they've got games and puzzles and antiques and musical instruments, which is where Silver Sister and I rush to right when we go in. We want to see what the oldest instruments they have in there are. They've got some really cool things. They've got a Martin. Is it a 12 string? What is it? It's a lot of money. Really old Martin, like 1800s kind of stuff. That's the fun era for me. All right. Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh, if you want to shop online and you are not anywhere near the Good Leaf, go to the Good Leaf Shop. .com and check it out. You can order your CBD products, your hemp products right there online. Woohoo! All right, let's see what's going on in the world at large. World of weed. Okay, let's see if there's what we got going on local. I always like to check azmarijuana.com. I don't see any events coming up on their first page anyway. Let's see if there's any other big news. 61% of American adults plan to gift or use cannabis on Valentine's Day. You know, that's funny because more and more people, like during Christmas time, I had a blast. Having literally, I'm not even kidding, moms were coming in to buy their kids bongs for Christmas. It was awesome. So, it was for their holiday gifts. Oh, okay. So, 22 Red relaunches next gen live resin vape in Arizona. Show more. What can we do here? It's gonna get. Oh man, all the besties are gonna start texting, and I don't know how to get that off of. Short of, I guess I could it for now and then relaunch it in a minute. I guess I'll do that because otherwise you're going to hear besties chiming in. Ding, 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 ding. Let's see here. What is going on? Excuse me for one moment, folks. I am going to take a short break. We are going to listen. Let's listen to this. Just quick commercials, real quick.
Suffer from one of these medical conditions and have been diagnosed by an Arizona licensed physician, medical cannabis may help relieve your symptoms. Tumbleweeds Health Center is Arizona's premier cannabis certification, health, and education center. Our primary focus is to help the patients of Arizona obtain their medical marijuana card and educate everyone about medical cannabis. With medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana card.
Chronic conditions holding you back from a happy, healthy life? Get on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to fit your health lifestyle.
I would definitely say that CBD has changed my life. I mean, I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore.
Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
Ah, yes. Okay, just checking things out. Weird things are happening in Tombstone. So I had to go check it out. Yeah. Just needed a moment. All right, 22 red. So there is a difference between resin and rosin. And maybe I'll just look that up. I know Leafly would have something. Resin v. rosin. Because when I tried the two, I seemed to like rosin. It seemed to taste better. So here's an AI. You want to hear what AI says about this? This is great. The primary difference between rosin and resin, specifically live resin, in the cannabis industry lies. See, here it comes, and it didn't work. They're back on. Lies in the extraction method. Rosin is produced without solvents. Yeah, that's probably why I liked it, using only heat and pressure, while resin is produced using chemical solvents like butane or propane. Rosin is considered a cleaner, more natural product, of course, whereas resin is often more affordable and offers a higher, more consistent potency. So, yeah, so there you have it. And the key differences at a glance. Let's see. The rosin is heat. It's solventless, so it's heat or pressure extracted. Purity is high, no chemicals. Flavor profile, natural, earthy, strain specific. Price point is high because it's labor intensive. And the texture is sap, butter, or jam. Oh my Lord, you kids these days are coming up with crazy terms for weed. Sap, butter, jam. And butter is spelled B-U-D-D-E-R. All right, kids, resin. The extraction method is hydrocarbons, solvents like butane or propane. Purity is lower. It's potential residual solvent. Ooh. Flavor profile is intense, pungent, and aromatic. Price point is more affordable. And the texture is like sauce, sugar, or shatter. Okay, so there you have it. Rosin is the solventless choice. It's created by applying heat and pressure to raw cannabis material like flour, keef, or hash to squeeze out the resinous cannabinoid-rich sap. It's similar to pressing oil from olives, and it uses the method is a no chemical use method. So you can press it from flour, from buds, from hash. Rosin is from bubble hash, and you can even do a dry sift rosin. Live rosin is made from fresh frozen plant material, and it's considered to be the premium connoisseur grade version. The pros: solvent-free, retains a robust natural terpene profile. The cons: higher price point, lower yields. Well, if price is the problem, then sign me up for the live rosin, baby. Because why? It's your body. Why are you going to put a chemical in your body when for just a few dollars more, you don't have to? That's why I don't understand people that, aren't keen on organic. They think it's a scam. It's really not. My sister-in-law admitted to me 30 years later. Let's see, how old was I? 20? Yeah, 35 years later. She said, "You were right." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I love to hear that, but seriously, what are you even talking about?" And she goes, "Well, you were right about all the organic stuff and, not having, chemicals and crap and plastic in your food. And I was like, oh, well, isn't that interesting? And we laughed, but it's true. So, yeeks. For resin or live resin, it's extracted using solvents to separate the cannabinoids and terpenes from the plant material. So the production plants are typically washed with butane or propane, and the solvent is then purged through sometimes small amounts can remain. It's extracted from flash frozen plants to preserve maximum flavor and potency. Cured resin is extracted from dried or cured plants. Generally, it's higher in potency, stronger aroma, and more affordable, but it's not solventless, sometimes considered less pure than rosin. So, which is better? If you prioritize purity, safety, then solvent-free and flavor above all else, rosin is your way to go. Choose resin if you want maximum potency at lower price points. Enjoy intense, loud flavors. So there you have it. It depends on your preference, which is better, resin or rosin. No, I will most always go for the more organic product. That's just how I am. And besides, I like to support local folks. And a lot of the organic products are local. So there you have it. The difference between resin and rosin. I just gave you a crash course. We hadn't even started the article. 22 Red relaunch generation live resin vape. All right, now we all know what that is, a resin vape. There we go. That is a weird photo. Cannabis brand 22 Red, founded by Chavo Odajan, the band System of a Down, just introduced an upgraded all-in-one live resin vape built around new low-temperature heating technology designed to preserve terpene flavor and potency while delivering consistently smooth draws. The device heats fast at ultra-low temperatures with even heat distribution, avoiding the harsh burn or oxidation that can come with standard hardware. It includes 1 gram of live resin, high-potency, solvent-free extraction. It says solvent-free, and oil sourced from indoor-grown flower, all focused on delivering strong flavor and a cleaner experience. The vape's standout features, an illuminated oil tank so users can clearly track remaining oil. That is kind of cool right there. It's kind of fun. Ooh, this is a neat little thing. It fits very discreetly in the palm of your hand, so kind of doesn't even look like it's going to hold anything. Digital displays shows battery life, temperature, and oil level in real time. Ain't no joke. 2 customizable power modes for tailored heat and draw preferences. Stand-up charging design that keeps oil positioned over the heating element for consistent performance. Very nice. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Well, that's a pretty little picture. You know what? I'm going to copy and paste that into our podcast and see if there's error. Why is there an error? More than one ingestion is using the primary URL. Send one stream primary ingestion. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know if you can hear me, so I'm going to just kind of get on my phone and go to, and this is the best way to get to it anyways. Go to tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. Go to the website, and if you're on your phone, this is what I'm doing, because I don't know if this whole error thing is happening. And in just a second, we're going to actually, you know what? Let's do it now. We're going to just launch our favorite song of all times. And y'all know what that is.
Puff, 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 puff. puff, 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 I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome. Walk into my house like, what up? I got some good pot. I'm just pumped up, got some herb from the pot shop. Ice in my fridge, it used to be frosty. My friends like, damn, that's a stone ass donkey. Rolling in hella hot, looking like it's FIFA time. Dominating all my friends as I eat some chili fries. Draped in a snuggie with my girl sitting next to me. Probably shouldn't have had a big gulp full of iced tea. But shit, it was 99 cents. I'll be blazing and smoking, about to go and get some munchies next. Passing up on those Cracker Jacks, Reese's Pieces are where it's at. Gotta give me some soda pop. Cotton mouth has been keeping up, but can't remember where I put my keys. Yeah, that's what's up. I'ma take your grandpa's ride. No, for real. Ask your grandpa, can I take a 6-5? DeVille cruising to my local Publix. Nothing better than rolling with 2 super fly chicks. Have frozen burritos. I bought frozen burritos. I bought some Ben and Jerry's, and then I bought some Cheetos. Hello, my main man Obama. A couple states have just reformed their laws on marijuana. What you gonna do? Send the feds there? Hell no. DPAs would be like, they got volcano. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome. What you know about science and marijuana? What you know about people suffering from glaucoma? They need it. It helps them with their condition. If you don't believe me, then just ask some eye physicians. Thank your granddad for voting for that guy. Richard Nixon is the president who made the plant illegal. But science is now showing that it's medicine for people, and the private sector's fighting to keep all of that illegal. Alcohol and tobacco, pharmaceutical prisons. I'll take those 4 major lobby groups and fight those motherfuckers. They're making money day and night, all those motherfuckers. And bribing Congress out of sight, all those motherfuckers. They be like, oh, it's immoral and unhealthy. I'm like, many people, are you making wealth? Anti-marijuana lobbies are making all kinds of profits, and they don't want you to stop it because of all the special insurance. I call that getting swindled and pimp shit. I call that getting tricked by the government. That law's hella old, so it's time to update it, regulate it, and then get it under state control. Peak game, look into my political telescope. Think it's gonna stay like this forever? Not hella won't. Not hella won't. Hey Obama, stop being a hypocrite. You used to smoke weed, fool. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunter, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome. Let's end the war on drugs. It's time to pull the plug. These special interest groups are nothing more than corporate thugs. Let's end the war on weed. The people have agreed. These special interest groups against these laws with bribery. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunter, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
All right, welcome back to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. All right, wow, it's cold this morning. It's 48 degrees out there. Yikes. Somebody hit the lamp. All right. Let's see here. What do we got? All right, we're good. We're good on power. So I can unplug that. Don't really need that. For the phone though, let's see here. I checked, we're on air. So that's good. So I have no idea what this whole streaming thing error is. It seems to be working fine. All right. Let's see what else is going on in the world of weed. You're listening to Weedsday Wednesday, brought to you by Belle Star and the Cannabis Kid and Silver Sister. And it's just me right here on the couch all by myself. Come on. Cannabis Kid, where did you go? An open hour. Where are you? Hello. All right. Oh, that's weird. That's where that went. I wonder why. Okay. Let's get some news going on here. So that's what we had about going on in Arizona, new vape. But it's resin. And now we know the difference between resin and rosin, don't we, kids? Okay, let's see. What else is going on? The New York Times isn't examining the real world evidence on cannabis. It's ignoring us. What? All right, let's see what's going on here. Okay, and gosh, my eye's really bothering me this morning, so sorry about that. Marijuana crackdown? What? All right. We're reading from, it says it's a 17-minute read. What? That is a long read. I don't know. Maybe it won't be 17 minutes. We'll see. This is from High Times. Last week, the New York Times editorial board published an op-ed titled, "It's Time for America to Admit That It Has a Marijuana Problem," urging a regulatory crackdown on legal cannabis. The piece claims to be motivated by the belief that, quote, "a society should be willing to examine the real-world impact of any major policy change and to respond to new facts," quote. But the op-ed does precisely the opposite. It is built on factual errors, selective omissions, and unsupported assertions that misrepresent the evidence on cannabis in order to justify an anti-cannabis posture. If anything, the editorial board failed to respond to the facts about legalization, taxes, economics, and the illicit market. Consider the claim that cannabis is undertaxed compared to alcohol and tobacco. The op-ed states the quote, state taxes are as low as a few additional cents on a joint. Quote, "This appears inaccurate. In most legal states, cannabis is taxed at far higher effective rates than either alcohol or tobacco." That's true. In California, legal cannabis is subject to a 15% excise tax, a local excise tax that often approaches 10%, and standard sales taxes that frequently exceed 10%, pushing the total consumer-facing tax burden above 35%. These, however, are only the taxes visible to the consumer. They do not include the substantial, quote, hidden taxes, quote, imposed earlier in the supply chain on cannabis cultivators, manufacturers, and distributors, costs that are ultimately passed along to consumers at retail. Nor do they include the exorbitant state and local licensing fees that legal cannabis businesses must pay, which function as a de facto tax on participation in the legal cannabis market. Mr. Bean. And they do not include the federal tax burden. Oh, here we go, guys. I'm sorry. I can't get away from the dings are coming. It's not my fault. They do not include the federal tax burden imposed by the IRS Section 280E, which forces cannabis companies to pay federal tax rates approaching 70%, more than double those other legal American businesses. By contrast, alcohol in California faces a beer excise tax of roughly 2 cents per drink. Tobacco taxes, while higher than alcohol, still impose a far lower effective burden relative to retail price in cannabis. This disparity exists despite a glaring difference in risk profile. Alcohol and tobacco kill hundreds of thousands of Americans every year. Truth. Fatal overdose from cannabis alone is extremely rare. And I, Belle Star, will say at 0. Regardless of one's personal views on cannabis, the claim that it is undertaxed relative to alcohol or tobacco is not a matter of opinion. It is empirically wrong, and it ignores the far lower risk of profile of cannabis compared to the substances our society has normalized and commercialized for decades. In fact, the persistence of massive illicit cannabis markets in many states where cannabis is legal is itself clear evidence that cannabis is overtaxed relative to alcohol and tobacco. Alcohol and tobacco do not sustain large illegal markets in the United States because their tax rates are calibrated to keep legal products competitive. Legal cannabis, by contrast, continues to face substantial illicit competition precisely because taxes and regulatory costs are so high that legal businesses struggle to compete. The existence of these illicit markets is proof that cannabis is not undertaxed, but just the opposite. Despite this reality, the editorial board proposes raising cannabis taxes further, writing that, quote, if a joint costs $10 instead of $5, it would mean a lot of extra money for someone now smoking multiple joints a day and may change that person's behavior, quote. Well, first of all, Belle Star here to say, they're already $5, $10, and $20 a joint. Okay. And most people don't smoke multiple joints a day, but people smoke packs of cigarettes a day. Seriously, people don't smoke weed like they smoke cigarettes. Get your facts straight. This claim reflects a startling misunderstanding of basic economics. Higher taxes do not make cannabis use disappear. They push consumers into legal markets. This is not theoretical. It is exactly what has occurred in high-tax states like California, where illicit cannabis continues to thrive despite legalization. The irony is difficult to miss. Op-ed laments illegal products like Trips Ahoy and Double Stuffed Stonio that appeal to children, yet those products typically originate in illicit markets rather than licensed channels. By advocating policies that weaken legal operators and strengthen illicit sellers, the editorial board's recommendations would directly empower the very actors most likely to sell such products to minors. THC caps and the lessons of prohibition. This same failure to grapple with incentives and real world behavior appears again in the op ed's proposal to, quote, make illegal any marijuana product that exceeds a THC level of 60%, quote. This suggestion is, once more, dangerously naive. History has already shown what happens when policymakers force consumers out of regulated markets for products they demand. In 2019, an illicit cannabis vape crisis, driven by unregulated THC cartridges adulterated with vitamin E acetate, hospitalized thousands of Americans and killed dozens of unsuspecting people. That public health disaster was not caused by illegal cannabis. It was caused by prohibition-driven illicit cannabis supply. Forcing high-potency cannabis products back into the illegal market would repeat that mistake at scale. It would not eliminate demand. It would simply ensure that consumers obtain these products from unregulated sources with no testing, no label, and most importantly, no accountability. Yet, one is left to ask why the editorial board does not also propose making hard liquor illegal. Treating potency as the governing principle would mean forcing high-proof alcohol out of licensed stores and back into unregulated production, recreating the era of bathtub gin. We tried that experiment once. It did not end well. Well, they still make that backwoods gin. It's whiskey. The op-ed also includes, in the rhetorical fiction of, quote, big weed, quote, an intentionally loaded phrase meant to evoke big tobacco, quote. This comparison collapses under even minimal scrutiny. Maybe they're right about how long this takes. Even the largest cannabis companies are tiny compared to major American corporations, and the vast majority of cannabis businesses are small and medium-sized businesses. More importantly, tobacco kills hundreds of thousands of people annually. Cannabis does not cause the hundreds of thousands of deaths seen each year from alcohol and tobacco. Regulation, commercialization, and hypocrisy. The same pattern continues in the op-ed's claim that cannabis is less regulated than alcohol. The editorial board writes that legalization has produced a, quote, lightly regulated industry, quote, and warns of a, quote, powerful commercial sector, quote, operating with insufficient oversight. This bears little resemblance to reality. Cannabis is among the most heavily regulated consumer goods in the United States. In New York, Cannabis advertising is prohibited on billboards and tightly restricted across digital and physical media, while alcohol advertising is ubiquitous. 500,000 deaths a year from alcohol, folks. Alcohol brands saturate professional sports, name stadiums, and dominate Super Bowl commercials watched by millions. Retailers face extreme zoning restrictions and are often confined to limit corridors, while liquor stores line commercial streets in virtually every town in America. True. And there's a lot of drive-through liquor stores too. You don't even have to get out of your car. We live in a society that deliberately structures its choice architecture to encourage alcohol consumption, despite alcohol being one of the most destructive substances in our culture. Yeah, any TV show or movie you watch, it's all about the alcohol. Um, Alcohol is sold nearly everywhere and marketed as glamorous, social, and essential to celebration. Cannabis, by contrast, is treated as a pariah product, subject to exhaustive regulation at every step from seed to sale. The outrage over even minimal cannabis commercialization is not grounded in public health. It reflects a deep hypocrisy in a culture that aggressively commercializes far more harmful substances while treating any visible cannabis market as uniquely dangerous despite its far lower risk profile. And if the editorial board were genuinely interested in examining real world evidence, it would not need to speculate. Canada has had fully legal federally regulated cannabis sales for nearly 8 years. The dystopian outcomes implied by the op-ed never materialized. There was no collapse in social order, no explosion in youth use, and no public health catastrophe. Anyone sincerely curious about the consequences of legalization could just look across the northern border from New York and see that these claims are not borne out in practice. Medical evidence and scientific misrepresentation. The op-ed's treatment of medical cannabis is even more indefensible. It claims that, quote, decades of studies on the drug have proved disappointing to its boosters, finding little medical benefit, quote. This assertion is profoundly disconnected from the evidence. In 2023, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the HHS, released a 252-page scientific review documenting substantial evidence of cannabis's medical efficacy across a wide range of conditions, including chronic pain, nausea, multiple sclerosis-related spasticity, and appetite loss associated with cancer and HIV, to name a few. This report should be accorded extraordinarily weight. It comes from the most respected public health authority in the country, if not the world, and reflects a comprehensive review of the global scientific literature. The New York Times op-ed does not mention it at all. That omission is difficult to explain as any other than a refusal to grapple with the most consequential evidence available because it contradicts the editorial board's narrative. This op-ed cites no credible research to support its claim that cannabis lacks medical value. It may be implicitly referencing a recent JAMA review titled, quote, Therapeutic Use of Cannabis and Cannabinoids, a review, quote, which has been criticized for serious methodological flaws, including only restrictive inclusion criteria, failure to account for real-world clinical outcomes, and conflation of recreational and medical use. Even if one accepted that contested analysis, it would still be dwarfed by the far more comprehensive and authoritative HHS review, ignoring the latter while asserting that cannabis has, quote, limited medical benefit, quote, is a serious analytical failure. At one point, the editorial board concedes that cannabis is safer than alcohol and tobacco, quote, in some ways, quote, but conspicuously refuses to say what those ways are. That omission is telling. Cannabis is safer in this respect because a fatal overdose from cannabis alone is extremely rare. It is safer because it does not cause hundreds of thousands of deaths seen each year from alcohol and tobacco. It's safer because it does not produce long-term organ damage associated with alcohol and tobacco, an immense burden on the healthcare system that all Americans bear through ever-rising insurance premiums. The unwillingness of the op-ed to state these facts plainly reflects a discomfort with acknowledging just how stark the safety differential actually is. Youth, families, and work. In addition, the op-ed's concern for children rings particularly hollow in light of real-world evidence. In December of 2025, Monitoring the Future study, conducted by the National Institute of Drug Abuse, NIDA, found that past 12-month cannabis use among youth is at its lowest in 3 decades. Do I have to say that again? NIDA reports in December of 2025 that the past 12-month cannabis use among youth is at its lowest in 3 decades. This is precisely because regulated markets reduce youth access by replacing street dealers with licensed businesses that check IDs and face severe penalties for violations. Regulations work. The op-ed further claims that, quote, people who are frequently stoned can struggle to hold a job or take care of their families, quote. This is an embarrassing ad hominem assertion unsupported by any evidence whatsoever. Take it from me. I own 3 businesses. Hello. Alcohol, not cannabis, is a dominant contributor to domestic violence in the United States. Research has shown that cannabis legalization is associated with reduced alcohol consumption, which in practice helps reduce violence against women and children. To suggest that cannabis is uniquely harmful to families while ignoring alcohol's well-documented role in family destruction and cannabis's role as a substitute is reckless and irresponsible. The claim that frequent cannabis users cannot hold a job is equally unserious. I love that word, unserious. Many of the most economically productive members of society consume cannabis. That is awesome. And it's true. Cannabis use is even associated with greater physical activity, directly contradicting the caricature of cannabis users as, quote, lazy, quote. A peer-reviewed study published in Preventative Medicine reports found that adults who use cannabis are significantly more likely to meet recommended physical activity guidelines than non-users. Additionally, research from the National Bureau of Economic Research, NBER, found that medical cannabis legalization is associated with statistically significant reductions in workers' compensation claims, particularly in physically demanding occupations. One reason why is that some workers substitute cannabis for opioids or other pain medications, improving their capacity to work safely and reducing injury risk. In short, the naked assertion that, quote, people who are frequently stoned can struggle to hold a job or take care of their families, quote, is beneath the dignity of the New York Times editorial board. What this is really about, but above all the reasons this op-ed is wrong, it is worth asking what the debate is really about. It is about democracy and personal liberty. The New York Times editorial board does not represent the American people on this issue. Even in very conservative states, overwhelming majorities believe cannabis has legitimate medical value. This op-ed reflects a familiar pattern in American public life where cultural elites substitute their own preferences for their own fellow citizens and cloak those preferences in the language of science and public health in order to justify restricting how others live their lives. Oh my Lord, exactly. And that is exactly what they're doing. Wow. This article is awesome. I'm putting it on the website and I wish I could print it out. I think I have it in dark mode, so it's all backwards. That is not evidence-based policymaking. It is a refusal to accept the judgment of a democratic public that has weighed the facts and research and reached a different conclusion. The American people are not fooled here. They can distinguish real evidence from motivated reasoning. Efforts to limit the freedom of others by mischaracterizing data and ignoring lived experience do not elevate public discourse. If anything, they simply erode trust in institutions like the New York Times that once claimed to stand for truth. And you can also see CB1's Cannabinoid Research Repository. And Hirsch James is the CEO of Ananda Strategy, a cannabis-focused business advisory firm that works with cannabis brands, retailers, distributors, technology platforms, and other businesses on matters ranging from competitive licensing, legislative strategy, regulatory intelligence, market expansion, business litigation, internal and external communication, and other very corporate initiatives. This article is commentary from an external unpaid contributor. Views are of the authors, edited for clarity and style. Ooh, edited for style. I love it. It's a great article. If in fact all those facts are true, that's the thing. And it did take that long to read. It took me longer. That's funny. But yeah, my mama always said, and this it's not even true anymore, believe none of what you read and half of what you see, because now you can't even believe what you see. I know, it's the truth. It's really sad. But you know what you can do? Get on over. I'm going to post this article in our blog as well, right here. Here we go. I'm going to post this. Now, oh, there. They did let me do that one. I don't know why they didn't. I'll try and do this again. It was a different one they didn't let me post. There. They let me post them both now. So I've posted on our blog some articles that we're reading, and these, a hair and a peace sign. There we go. And some hearts for you. This new, I wish I could blow up this chat board so that I could see, oh, there's some nature things. So I could see what was going on here a little bit bigger, or a lot bigger actually, because there are things in here I'd like to post. I just don't even know what they are. All right. Thanks, folks. Let's see what we got going on. This. Thanks for tuning in to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody, each and every week. We love it. Woo-hoo. Have a great week out there. Weather's getting better. It's awfully beautiful. Just remember to be smart, be safe, and educate. And we are sending so many prayers for Nancy Guthrie and her family. Oh. And get yourself over to the Renaissance Fair. Huzzah! God save the Queen. Happy Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. We love you. Be smart, be safe, educate, have fun, be good to each other, and smoke some weed.
If you suffer from one of these medical conditions and have been diagnosed